guys, I am Dani and welcome back to Summer Skye Gardens. So I am out at the farm today. It is early. I have a lot to do, especially before the holiday tomorrow, which is when you guys are going to be seeing this video. Happy 4th of July. But I thought before I get to working and get super like nasty, hot and sweaty, I would kind of give you an updated tour of the farm, how everything looks here in my farm, which is in South Texas. It's in Splendora, which is right northeast of Houston. We're Zone 9B, so we have super long, hot, humid summers. But let's go take a tour around so I can show you how everything is growing and kind of what I am working on. As always, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, like, or comment down below if you have any questions, and let's go tour around. So coming around here on the side of the house, this is where I have all my mums. Overall, they're doing okay. There's a few that look a little rough just because of the heat and trying to keep them nice and watered in these grow bags. Like these little guys losing some leaves, but that's okay. They're still alive. But they're slowly starting to grow. Once the fall hits, they will put on a massive amount of growth and they will start blooming probably by the end of October. All right, so over here behind me in the wildflower field, this is the big project I am fixing to work on. I had my neighbor come install, you can see right here, an irrigation line from my well. He said he could do it for me. I didn't want to do it, nor did I have the time to do it. So he did that yesterday. It's working great. I am turning this wildflower area into my new U-pick field. If you missed it back in, I don't know if it was like end of May, beginning of June, we had some massive rain that came through and flooded my whole U-pick field that I was fixing to open up. Oh, it was beginning of May because it was right before Mother's Day. Oh my gosh, that was like almost a couple of months ago. So that I learned that part of my property is not going to be useful at this moment. And so I was trying to figure out where best to put the U-pick area. So, you know, building a new irrigation line was the easiest over to this field. So that is what I'm going to do over here, is turn this into the U-pick. So I sent out a soil test, got my irrigation line. My stepdad is coming at some point today to start working on tilling it up for me, and I'll till it up a couple of times and then I'll get to work fixing up the U-pick field. If you're interested to see how I build a field, I will link the video down below. Let's go test the water line. There you go. Really good water pressure. Looks great. So this is the area where I had the U-pick field that flooded. This like whole area was underwater for almost 4 weeks. You can see there's a few little volunteer flowers over here that showed back up, but otherwise everything was lost. And it's because this area kind of slopes down, which I knew it held a little bit of water, but was not prepared for 20 inches of rain in 5 days, which has happened like every few years. So it's best if I just leave this alone for now and move my U-pick field, and there's my production field. Let me show y'all here the front of the house real quick because there's a few things I added. I've been coming through and trying to find spots for my pumpkins because I don't have a ready area for them yet. So I've just kind of been putting them in some of the open bed, and once they grow and they kind of spread around the front of the house, like, I don't care, that'll be fine. It might look kind of fun. Added some lantana here, which love the heat, love our summers. Super pretty, great for pollinators and easy to take care of. And then over here, I need to cut back these palms. I'm trying to get rid of them, but I had added some drift roses. They're hanging in there. Put some salvia back here. Have a climbing rose. I forget the variety. Some more salvia back here. Have another pretty lantana and an esperanza. So I'm hoping that all of these will be kind of like heat and somewhat drought tolerant plants, which will fill in and make the front of the farmhouse look super pretty. And then of course, at some point I've got to get around to finish painting it, but I have until probably mid-September to do that. All right, so here we are at the production field, and I apologize if you hear me sniffing at all. I am battling a sinus infection, which is super fun. But let's go look through at all the flowers. So here are some of my gladiolas that are blooming, and then I planted some more right here. So let me take you down the row. This was like a mix of like frizzle butterfly, which are looking really pretty. I have a bunch harvested for my bouquet subscriptions. Here I planted some mahogany splendor hibiscus, which is a wonderful filler that does fine in our heat. The rest of this bed is empty. I have some weeds I need to pull out. And then right here I have some basil. So this is cinnamon basil, which does great in our summer, and lemon basil right here. All right here are my lisianthus, and they're still doing very well. They're starting to either put on like a second flush, or some of these stems that did not bloom before are now blooming and looking really nice. I've definitely been very happy with the lisianthus so far. Don't mind all the weeds. I'm super behind on pulling weeds. So I have some more kind of scattered throughout here. And then I have my cosmos, which a lot of them have burned up. They like the heat, but when it gets pretty intense, they tend to not do as well. But I'm just leaving them alone because they're good pollinator flowers, and every so often I can get still a good little flower. All right, this row was a lot of the snapdragons, which are pretty much done, and I'm just leaving them because if I pull them, then it's just gonna grow weeds. So I'm just leaving them alone for the moment. I don't have anything I need to plant there. Right here is a lot of my celosia. So these are some Sunday series, Chief series. This is the Asian Garden, which I really like because after I pinched it, it has put out a lot of branching, which is great. Here's some of the other ones. Such fun, like bright colors. This is the Chief celosia, which always looks so fun. Looks like a brain or coral. Here is my floret celosia, which I just transplanted a week ago. So that'll get growing nicely. And then the rest of these holes, I put some more gladiolas. I really like gladiolas because they're easy to grow. They're a great like focal flower, and they definitely don't have a problem with our heat. So let's go walk over that way. All right, here is the other half. Let's start over here by the sunflowers. These are gold light that I planted a while back, and they are just now starting to open up. Let's find one down here. Super cute and pretty. So some of these will go in my bouquet subscriptions today. Other ones I will harvest and hold in the cooler for next week when my florists are back open. Nobody really needed anything this week from me, so I'll hold the rest. This is the feverfew. I have grown feverfew before and it's done well, but this year, this whole area just did not do well. So I'm not really sure what the problem is. Of course, it's looking like really fried right now. I might try it again next year. I might not. I'm kind of on the fence because we had a lot of rain this year so far, and the blooms, when they get rained on, they just get all yucky. And even though they've grown well, like it doesn't make them usable. So that's kind of a waste. Here is some more lisianthus. So like I said before, these really already bloomed really well, so they're putting on like their second flush, which is really short, but you know, could possibly be usable. So we'll see. I'm kind of going through and cleaning up the old stems. And then here are all the zinnias, which of course look wonderful. So I have like all my Queen Lime series here. I have some Bennery here. All these seedlings, I came in and kind of filled in the open areas with more seedlings, which are like mostly the Oklahoma and Bennery series. So those are starting to grow. And then all of this is all of my floret zinnias, which look great. See if we can go up close to some blooms. Like these, once they get further along, they've really put on like this fluffiness, beautiful color. So I've been really happy with those. Of course, the queen lime are always so pretty with their ombre color. There's some more seedlings back there. Let's go over to the perennial bulb area. So this is the worst looking part of the farm. It put on a massive amount of weeds all spring, and I just never had time to come through and mess with it. But I got a large tarp that I'm pretty much going to cover this whole area until it's time to plant in the fall, to hopefully kill all of these weeds and grass. And then I'll come through and kind of like lightly till this area up and amend it. I still have over here some yarrow that's still alive, which should perennialize. Some salvia overrun with weeds. I have all of these lilies that I planted that I didn't end up using, but I'm gonna let them die back, and then in the fall I'll dig up the bulbs and sell those to just people around my area and my neighborhood so they can plant them in their garden or their landscape. This is my autumn fire sedum. These are all some seedlings I got, and then these are some more mature plants that I found at my grocery store, of all places, and those should turn into perennials. And then the only other thing growing is back over here. Let me walk back there. There are all these weeds. That is my mountain mint, which does great over here. Some of it is starting to flower, which is fun. So you can either, you know, wait for it to flower and use it, or use it as greenery, which is what I've been doing, and it smells lovely and works great in bouquets. All right, so that's kind of the full tour of everything that's going on. My cooler is still working great. I built my cooler. Me and my husband built it. Well, mostly my husband built it back in, I think it's February now, and it's been working fabulous. So if you're interested in building your own walk-in cooler using a CoolBot, I will link that video down below, but that's just a little update on that part. But yeah, I mean, overall, everything is doing really well. It's just so hot and humid in the summer that you really have to get out and try to get as much work done as early as possible, which is what I'm doing today. And my next, my biggest project I'm working on over the next couple of months is moving my U-pick field. My goal is to be planting in it within a few weeks and to have it open by like end of September. It's been a year now. I've been really trying to get the U-pick field open. That's like my number one thing that I really wanted to do here at the farm, is have a U-pick field where people can come visit and pick their own flowers. So I don't foresee any issues, but of course you never know. But I've got to give it a go and get it moved and get everything up and growing. So I think it'll go well if I can just survive the heat. But I do have help. My stepdad, like I said, is coming out to help. My husband, I'm sure, will come out and help, and we'll get it done. And I'm excited to finally, welcome people to the farm. So if you're in the area, stay tuned, sign up for my newsletter. I will also link that below so that you get updates about when we will be open. And yeah, that's all that's going on at our South Texas flower farm. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video.